The teams are not going to be correct for this. Just bear that in mind for the introductions, but it's fine. It's fine to worry about it. This morning, in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have our blue Protoss player. We have our blue Protoss himself, representing himself. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Strange. Wait, I'm a little bit confused. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have bottom right-hand corner. We have the it was misreported. Oh, we have the red Terran player representing 3D Clan. It is MilkiCow. There was a misreport earlier. So if you remember, we did state earlier, we did updates that GG Machine 2'd MilkiCow, and I was giving a little praise to GG Machine. I was like, oh my god, that's crazy, that's impressive, that's wild, that's out of this world. And unfortunately, it looks like that was a misreport, and it was MilkiCow that took down GG Machine 2-0 instead. GG Machine got knocked out earlier, and with that, we do have MilkiCow now advancing on a face-off against Strange. Now they are mid-series, and MilkiCow is up 1-0. Now when it comes to MilkiCow, if you recall, he did force Skillets to the ace match last night. Hold on, I'll fix up the player names. But he did force the ace match out of Skillets, and it was very clutch, very close, very back and forth. We are here. Oh. Sorry, my apologies. It wasn't a misreport. GG Machine did 2-0 MilkiCow, so it was not a misreport, but apparently GG Machine, I mean, he is young. He is too young to compete. Feels GG Machine, man. So he did 2-0 MilkiCow, but alas, he was not able to, he's not allowed to compete. He's too young. And because of that, he has been disqualified. And MilkiCow, he got the technical win. So MilkiCow, he lost to G Machine 2-0, but he's here. Yeah, he's here. Made it to a qualifying match. Feels GG Machine, man. Yeah, he's too young. He's 15 years old. Too young. As we're building up, is going to be the Stargate Open out of Strange. Interesting. I mean, on these larger maps, this is more viable for sure. 100%. This is more viable. Here we go. Stepping in. And likewise, MilkiCow is typically a more aggressive player as well. Sorry, I'm just a little bit distracted going over the news that I was told that, of course, the disqualification did occur. But now we can focus on our match, focus on our series here against Stargate Open out of Strange, committing into Phoenixes. This is more viable on these larger maps, as it is quite risky to go Phoenixes on smaller maps, as you are vulnerable to all-ins. You are vulnerable to aggression. But alas, MilkiCow is yet to confirm. He does spot the hallucinations, but he has no idea as to what the tech is of Strange. Not yet. Behind this, going for the add-on swap. Oh, okay. Building up his Cyclone, building up his Viking. I'm curious if he actually got wind or actually saw the Phoenixes that were building up, or if we had something similar here in Game 1. That is possible. For now, MilkiCow, he is setting up to defend against Phoenixes. Go. That's behind this. The Robo is now done and building up more Phoenixes, massing up back at home. And we do see MilkiCow committing here. And again, this is, I mean, typically this is designed to hard counter and to punish and to break a player that's going Phoenixes. We'll see if he can. As he has nothing but anti-air. He has a tank moving out as well. Yo, meanwhile, a big shout out to TKL. God, baby God, thank you so much. Thank you so much, TKL, for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great cast. Hope you had a great time covering your matches. As this is the final qualifying match of the EU qualifiers. As here we go, we do dive on the Phoenixes. As the first Viking goes down, he gets one. He gets the Cyclone as well. Massive pickoff. Yeah, he does punish the Viking, the Cyclone, and MilkiCow has to race back. Tank does siege, but the ground army does get on top of the tank. There's not enough support. And Strange, he's shutting this down. So far, it takes down the tank, takes down the Vikings. It's a bit of a messy fight. It's a messy trade. But he's pushing through. He does shut down the aggression. From here, MilkiCow, he expands. Third TC is on the way. And what were the trades looking like here? 3 Phoenixes, 2 Adepts for 3 Vikings, a tank, a Cyclone, all the Marines. I would say this was a better trade for Strange. The downside, though, is that he has to rebuild his Phoenix count. The Phoenix count was reset. He has to build up from scratch once again to have any kind of map presence. Fast, yeah. So we go. These Vikings do break out. See MilkiCow again just trying to stabilize, building up into a 3rd CC, throwing down extra axes, and getting into the mid game. We're getting here in a bit of an awkward place, but getting it nonetheless. Meanwhile, the Ratchet Viking production has not stopped. He's going for the land. He's at least trying to. Trades against the Phoenixes. Shield Battery does come into play. Vikings are going to be chased down. And Strange, he will hold. He will defend. He will clean up every single Viking. Forced to lift. And the Vikings do fall. No economic damage here. Better defense here by Strange. So far, so good. Does defend well. Meanwhile, MilkiCow, he does have his siege line. He's ready. He's set up. 3rd base on the way. Strange, he does break out. Once again, lifts up every single tank. The tanks say do nothing. We have vanilla Marines on the ground. They're trying to stim in. Oh, and the tank is going to be chased down as well. Medevac will fall. Tanks, they do unload just in time, but the 3rd base is forfeit. 11 SCV kills. The 3rd expansion. Again, Strange moving out with barely an army, but it's still enough. Still enough to punish. Again, just a very chaotic game state here. 2 Immortals, a Colossus. 2 Zealots without charge. Get very messy, but does catch 13 SCVs. From here, Strange, he pulls away. More importantly, he preserves the high-tech units, right? He preserves the Colossus. He preserves the Immortals. He preserves what matters most. Here he pulls away. Also, I'm just double checking that we did actually open up predictions. I'm hoping that we did. So I was just distracted from the news earlier. But for now, MilkiCow getting caught unsieged. Oh, does pull away. Yeah, we did have predictions. Okay. Just double checking. And this should be the final series. I believe this is the only outstanding qualifying match. We'll be going over all the matches and all the qualified players after this series, and once we wrap up, we'll get there. Also, bearing in mind that we do have the NA qualifiers after this as well. That's still scheduled to begin in 3.5 hours, around 3.5 hours. So it's still a ways away. Oh, nice mine shot. Mine shot goes off, takes down one of the Phoenixes. Strange does rotate, still being active. Again, he has high ground vision with the Observer. Speaking of, it takes on both Widow Mines. Looking for the Observer, and he does find it, just barely. Spilly does catch it. Strange wedging himself in between the bases. Zelsa peel off in towards the natural. Yeah, boys are being pulled into the Archon, into the charge lots. And so many SCVs are going down. This is already worth it. And now Strange, he commits in. Strange might be overextending here. Yeah, he's running out of support, running out of buffer. He has to get out. Has to pull away. Again, he cannot push into the tanks. Not like that. But now pulling back. Boys are being pulled. It's all or nothing. MilkiCow does have a massive army. Yeah, the army is massive. Colossus, they target down the Marines. They at least try to. We come in for the surround, and Strange, he will lose everything. Strange did overextend. He had to get out. He stuck around too long. Losing the Colossus, the Immortals, and the Prism. And Strange, he plummets in supply. Now, what's important here, he has the economy. He has 68 workers. MilkiCow, he has to counterattack here and now. He cannot macro out of this. It's not going to happen. MilkiCow down to 29 SCVs. He's got to send it. He's got to go. We got to send it back. As he has no medevacs. Medevac production has begun. He is pushing as time goes on. We're building up more Colossus, more charge lots. I mean, it's a rough position for MilkiCow to be in, but there's just nothing left for him back at home. This may still not be enough, but it's all he has. So let's move in. But there are just so many Archons. Yeah, they just tank all the shots. They take down the tanks as well. Tanks do fall. We're down to a Viking, a handful of Marines, a handful of Marauders, and MilkiCow just doesn't have enough left. There's not enough left over. GG gets called, and with that, Strange, he will tie things up 1-1. We are going to game 3. Let's go. GG will play. As a reminder, this is a best of 5. So we have plenty of games ahead of us. Plenty more games to come. As we are getting ready here for our 3rd game. But GG well played. Again, a very intense, very chaotic series here between, or game between MilkiCow and Strange. Very chaotic. As a Strange did open Stargate, we saw that MilkiCow tried to punish him, but instead MilkiCow was shut down. From that moment, Strange, he was able to gain map control. We had the early push as well with the first Colossus, where he was able to barely break the economy of MilkiCow as well. Again, it was very intense, very back and forth, but with that, GG. With that, GG. We're now getting into game number 3. As we are loading into Maganatha. Spawning in the bottom hand corner here of Maganatha, we have our blue Protoss player, our blue Protoss himself, tying things up, tying up the series here, fighting back and putting a point on the board. It is Strange. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player, representing team at 3D Clan. It is MilkiCow. I'll fix up the player names. God. They switch places, baby. They switch places. Bam. Okay, I got you. Beautiful. As we are settling into the largest map of the map pool, well, oh my god, as we go CC first, I mean, may as well. CC first out of MilkiCow. Again, this is the largest map. We don't get larger than Maganatha. Longest rush distance by ground, so greed is the name of the game here on this map. Going for that initial CC. Meanwhile, Strange likewise can go gate expand before the Cybercore as well. Speaking of, he goes for it. There it is. Gateway into Nexus. So both players cutting corners, both players being greedy in their own way. But MilkiCow is known for his aggression, he's not known for his macro, so our eyes are going to be on the Terran for the most part. Likewise, because the map is so large, Stargate play is more viable here. It is safer to go for Stargate play, to harass, to deal economic damage, and to gain a lead coming into the mid-game. We'll see if Strange goes Stargate again. Here we go. As you can see, a safety bunker, a blind bunker, Jesus. I mean, there's a lot going on here. So winding it back, this wasn't just CC first, this was CC first, this was also into a reactor first build, no SCV scout. So 0 scouting out of MilkiCow. Is being very greedy here. So to compensate for that greed, he's playing a little bit safer by investing into the bunker. You could argue that this is inefficient, and it is, but I mean, he's up against Strange, so he wants to be greedy, but also wants to be a little bit safer here to make sure he doesn't just die suddenly. So it does fully wall off with that bunker. Behind this factory into a Rax. Ooh. Into an eBay as well. This does look like the beginning of a 3-1-1 before Starport. This does look like the beginning of a 2-base all-in. Now, I'm assuming that we're going to go for the Rax before Starport. I'm referring to a third Rax, so an additional one after this. If we go for the Starport, this could be a 2-1-1 variation. Hallucination goes in. Hallucination does confirm the Rax and the eBay. And yep, there's a third Rax. So this is the beginning here of something very aggressive, very committed. Basically, with this build, we're going to be hitting an early timing with a +1. With +1 attack, with stim, with the upgrades, with Mass Marine, and with early tank production as well. MilkiCow, he will have the option to pull the boys. He can pull the boys with this. There's the add-on swap rushing into stim, as I did mention. Stim takes priority. And stim is already on the way. Now, I do like this from Strange. Strange sees everything. He sees everything he needs to. He knows that a heavy Marine sim timing is coming his way. How does he respond? Charge. Charge is a really good way to deal with tank pushes. Like, early tank aggression can be completely shut down by a mass amount of charge ults early on. In general, charge ults do a great job at engaging into an army that's pushing into them. At punishing aggression. Especially early on. We have +1 armor on the way for Strange, and I do prefer Strange's position initially, but it comes down to the execution. It comes down to the push, it comes down to the time. Here we go. As the hallucination goes in once again, confirms no starport. There is no starport. Are we going for a 4th Rax? Oh my god. 4th Rax is on the way. Let's go. Even that much more committed. And again, that's a 4th Rax before starport. So 0 medevacs, 0 air support. Once again, the factory only used for an add-on swap, getting to Marauder production, working towards combat shields. Starport now is going to be on the way. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a reactor. Yet reactor into add-on swap. We're hitting with 2 medevacs. Again, this factory has been purely used just for add-ons. Now, my concern here did make a tank, and here we go. The boys are being pulled. There are layers to this. I'm a little bit confused. We pull the boys for the 2-base all-in, but we're still making a starport. So, like, we're a little bit in both worlds here from MilkiCow. But here we go. It's all or nothing. Storm is almost done. 10 seconds. Needs 10 more seconds. More Zelda warping in. Yeah, 2, 1. Storm is not complete. Strange, he never expanded. MilkiCow, he pulls back home. He sees no 3rd base. He believes he cannot break his opponent. So I like this. He pulls back home. He's getting ready for a longer game. Strange committing in. Yeah, it does go for the dive. And High Templar, they're not going to be targeted down. Storm zones. Yeah, just a zoning storm. Ooh, 1 Marauder in the mineral line. 5 probe kills. And Strange holds. Strange does hold, but there are a couple of important things that just happened. One, MilkiCow pulled back home. He pulled the boys back home to saturate and to have an economy. Also, alongside that, he preserves the army. This is the army that moved out, and he didn't even take a storm to the face. He preserves almost everything. What did he lose? He lost a tank, 3 marauders, 4 marines. Like, that is well worth it for MilkiCow. It's well worth it. Ooh, but Strange does counterattack. He needs those storms. I tell you, they're lagging behind. Nice kiting. Very nice kiting. We get a decent storm here, but mainly on marauders. We need a storm on the marines. Better storm. But Strange needs more. Oh my god. Okay, the storms are landing. Okay, we get it. Storms are now landing. Widowmine is gonna connect. Ooh. Brutal connection takes down the sentry and 2 zealots. Yeah, brutal connection. Strange, she's rallying across the map. Trying to reinforce. Ooh. Storm in the mineral line. And MilkiCow is gonna try to collapse in. Zoning storm. Again, the storm. He's down to 2 storms left. He can't waste them. He cannot waste the storms. They're a massive storm. Oh my god, he doesn't waste them. He doesn't waste them. Oh my god. He takes out all the Maya. Bobby, he didn't waste them. And with that, he shuts down the army. The Archons, they break through. We have 2 more Archons coming in. And Strange, he breaks the natural. GG. Strange takes a 2-1 lead in the series. Whew. Oh my god. Yo, Strange, he was listening to the stream. He was like, okay, Cal, make him count. God. He didn't waste them. Oh, not at all. Those are some juicy connections towards the end. And with that, Strange does take a 2-1 lead. And with that, Strange needs 1 more game to claim the series. Uno más, papi. Uno más. Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting ready here for the next game. It's going to be on Pylon. Whew. Here we go. As though we are settling in. And again, potentially the final game of the series. Potentially. Again, it was a wild game here. We had initially MilkiCow going for the 2-base all-in, but then like he pulled out of the 2-base all-in. He stepped away from it, which I think, which I do like. I do agree with, just because remember, Strange never expanded. Strange, he never expanded. He never took a 3rd base. So pulling out of that was not the worst decision. Likewise, MilkiCow was just being as efficient as possible. But the storms were brutal. The storms were intense. They were insane, and the storms did punish. And now we're getting into our next game here in this series. We're getting into potentially the final game, as spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have a blue Protoss leading the series 2-1, 1 game away from qualifying. It is Strange. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the red Terran himself, representing 3D Clan. Down in the series, he has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is MilkiCow. Go. Whew. As we load into Pylon, Pylon is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. True. Map is smaller, and map is known for aggression. And so is MilkiCow. Double gas opener out of our Terran player. Remember last game we had CC first. This time double gas into a faster factory, into a delayed command center. How delayed though? Technically you can turn this into 1-base all-in, but MilkiCow is not really known for that. It's a rarer sight to see. A rarer sight. As from here, Strange does scouts. He does confirm the gases. He confirms the timing of the factory. Oh my god, Strange being so annoying. Almost gets the SCV kill. Strange, calm down. Calm down. Here, Strange does pull away. Whew. Does pull away. We're still building up. From here, we'll see what kind of add-on setup we do embrace. We do have the reactor on that Rex. From here, we can go into Reactor Reaper Hellion. We should be seeing that CC on the low ground, of course. Oh, as we're going straight for that starport. Okay. Starport's in production. We have Reactored Marine, not Reactored Reaper. There's no Hellion either. Setting up for initially a mine drop. So this should be initially the mine drop. From here, then the factory can start making tech labs. We can follow this up with a Cloak Banshee. We can follow this up with tanks. We'll see where this leads. Strange does poke in. Takes down a Marine. Gets one. Does pull back. Shade is denied. Okay, no tech lab. Add-on swap instead. Into Reactored Widowmine. Into something a little bit more committed here. More mines with more drops. Meanwhile, Strange, his take of choice, not a Stargate, not a Twilight Council, a Robo Opener instead for the first time. First time this series. Again, game 2, we saw Stargate. Game 3, we did see Charge with the Twilight Council. This time, Robo into a couple of options here. This Robo Opener, if you believe you're being all in, you can go into early Immortal production. So Immortals, they can be prioritized. You can go for the early Observer instead to get vision and scouting across the map. Or you can go for the early Prison to be more aggressive, to move out and to apply pressure. As we can see here, MilkiCow is committing Marines and Widowmines towards the natural base. Shield batteries on the way. Strange, he's rushing into the base. He's rushing into Colossus. He's crazy. He's going for a Colossus rush. Dropping to the main base does confirm the Bay is now aware of the timing. Widowmines do unload. And, oh no, they're going to connect. Oh my god. Might just go up. They get 2. They collapse on 2 probes, and only 2 probes. That could have been worse. That could have been so much worse. Hi, hi, hi. Widowmine towards the natural. Gets 1 more worker. I believe that was a cancellation on the shield battery. And with that, Strange holds. Strange holds, Strange defends, and again, Strange is rushing into Colossus. For a moment, I thought this could even be Colossus drop. With like a War Prison first. But not the case. Does go for the Observer. Viking gets punished. But again, at least MilkiCow is aware. Remember, he saw the Bay. He saw the Bay. Where's the Colossus? Oh, supply block. Okay. Bit of a supply block. Extendable Lance is being researched. We have the Observer on the way as well. MilkiCow building up his bio tank. Moving out once again. I do feel like this Colossus is a little bit delayed though, considering the timing of the Bay. And here comes MilkiCow. And can Strange hold? This is designed to punish a player that's rushing into Colossus. The tanks, they can also hold their own. Liberator on the way as well. And this is going to be a tough hold. Shield battery is done. There are some force fields. Good does force a siege. Catching out. Ooh, another Marine. Does trade out a Zealot though. Straight out. Also, that was a kill in the shield battery earlier, another cancel. My apologies. Speaking of, the shield battery is going to go down once again. The Colossus has arrived, but what about the tanks? What's the answer? There is none. Takes down the Liberator. Ooh, brutal tank shots. Yeah, tank shots on the Colossus. Strange, he has to respect those tanks. And MilkiCow is pushing in. He's moving further in. Strange, he has a Disruptor. There are now 3 tanks. Nova goes up. Does connect. Gets 1. Takes down 1 tank, but there's still 2 left. Still 2 remaining. Disruptor gets targeted. And the tanks are pushing further in. They're just pushing further in here. Further into the bases. Strange still trying to build up. Takes down the Marines. Nova goes up. Ooh, gets a tank. There's 1 tank left. 1 tank remaining. Ideally, he wants to preserve that disruptor. And he will. He will hold. He will defend. He shuts this down. He does defend his natural. Whew, behind this, MilkiCow expanding. Getting a third base, working towards Stim. Combat shields +1. Building up his army. Taking up as well. MilkiCow is not done. He's not done. He's still rallying in. Stim is done in a couple of seconds. Oh, Nova only zones. Doesn't connect. Yeah, the Nova was premature. It was premature. Disruptor does get targeted down. Immortal as well. And MilkiCow, he might just have too much. He might just have too much momentum. Strange has been barely holding on. Just barely. Twilight Council still being built. Nice force field. Not bad. Locks down the Marines. Locks down the Marauders. Second Colossus on the way. Likewise, the Colossus is going to be targeted down by the Vikings. Gets one tank. Oh, gets all three, actually. The Zealots, they break through. The Slow Lords, let's go. Cleans up every single tank. Oh, but they're still slow, though. Yeah, they're gonna be cleaned up as well. You just kite on back. Cashing out all the Zealots. Strange reinforcing from behind. Again, just a really messy game state. Very messy. As MilkiCow backs up, getting to his own Empire tank. He's sprinkling a couple of Vikings. Meanwhile, just our charge is finally going to finish. All the tech has been so delayed this game. But charge is done in a couple of seconds. Meanwhile, MilkiCow dropping into the main. Strange's army is not very mobile. Yeah, he misses the drop. Does miss it, and Strange is about to be torn apart. Double drop into the main, and a main push towards a third. And there are just so many Marauders. Strange, he overreacts. Oh. Does pull back over. Does rotate back around. The tanks do siege in time. And Strange just being torn apart. Just being pulled apart here. He cannot keep up. The base is going to go down. There's no saving this. He has to commit. He has to go for it. He just doesn't have enough. Never mind. The Zealots, they do get themselves the tanks. Zealots, they break on through. Tanks are going down, but oh, he will bleed out one of the Colossus. Down to one. Still very close. The Zealots, they do so much. The 1-1 Zealots. Colossus, oh no, Colossus goes down. Barely to the one Viking. But those Zealots, they're popping off. They're doing more than the Colossus. Let's go. Meanwhile, behind this, MilkiCow, he has a better economy. Like, he's up 20 workers, now getting a fourth base. MilkiCow, he can just rally in time and time and time again. It is a numbers game at this point. And it is impressive that Strange has survived this long, but only for this long. Wilson moves in. Like, once again, Strange, he's surviving. These are expensive trades for Strange. And you could argue that MilkiCow just has to calm down. He just has to calm down, build up his forces. Oh, full Bedrock goes down. Oh my god. He's not calm. He's not calm. Aye. Like, MilkiCow just has to back off and just build up for a moment. He just keeps rallying in. He just keeps trying to kill. He's just aping across the map. It's like, Pappy, we don't need to. We don't need to, Pack. Just back up and build up. As the tank almost does fall, boys are being pulled. Marauders being caught out. Nice target firing, and the boys are falling as well. Losing 12 SCVs. As there barely aren't enough Zealots here. But does kite back, out of range of the tank. More Zealots are on the way. Strange, can he pull this off? He's essentially all in. He's essentially three-base all in. Gets into the mineral line. The tank is a little bit too far back. Zealots are coming in from behind. And Strange, he commits. Does commit in. The Zealots, they get on top of the tank. They get one, they get both tanks. Yeah, bow tanks go down, and we need those zealots here and now. Ooh, as the Colossus does fall. Where are the zealots? They're in the mineral line. They're in the mineral line. SCVs are falling left and right, and no shot. He's done it. Strange. He's doing it. Yo, Strange. He was down and out. He was down 20 workers. He was down in army supply, but MilkiCow just couldn't calm down. He just kept sending it. And he played out some key units. Tanks, marauders, medevacs. And with that, Strange, he snowballs out of control. He does it. Takes on every worker here. 48 SCV kills. Vikings will eventually clean up the Colossus. Does fall 52 SCVs. 52. Now, we do have mules. Mules are pretty good. True. Mules are pretty good. 4th CC as well. So even though MilkiCow does lose a massive amount of his economy, he can afford it somewhat. He can look to sustain that. He could look to try to bounce back. He's got a +3 attack on the way. Strange, he's still licking his wounds. It's still very close. It's still very close, still very clutch. Again, the Mule Hammer is insane. And you can see here that MilkiCow has had the economic advantage for most of this game and continues to have it as well. You can see the Mule Hammer kicking in. But Strange was so close to breaking MilkiCow. Then and there, he was so close. Behind the still no blink. Still limited anti-air. Viking count is building up. As now MilkiCow, what we said earlier, he just has to calm down. He's calmed down. Like he's been forced to, but now he's on 4 bases. He's building up his worker count once again, building up his army as well, building up a death pool of an army. And Strange is now falling behind. Quite far behind. It was impressive what he was able to accomplish earlier. Can he do that again somehow? Well, that was also capitalizing on the mistakes of MilkiCow. Now that MilkiCow's built up his death pool, like now those mistakes aren't there anymore. Not anymore. Strange, he moves out. Planetary's already done. Oof. Yeah, Strange, I'm sure was hoping it wasn't. Now moving in. Boys are being pulled to repair. Strange, he cannot break the planetary. He overextends. Brutally EMPs. One Colossus goes down. Colossus, they trade as best they can here, but it's not going to be enough. Yeah, Strange, he has to back up. Has to pull away. Does save the Colossus, though. Not bad. Does save them. Just getting as much damage as he can. Oh, Colossus gets targeted. Tanks are going to be falling. Oh, just barely. Yo, Strange. He's doing it. Again, he had a very nice engage with the Colossus earlier, but he's running out of steam. Oh my god, the control. He saves the Archon. Barely saves the Archon. Strange, he's crazy. Oh my god. He's out of his mind. So we go, Strange rotating. Does rotate. Now bearing in mind that MilkiCow still maintains his economy, he still has the higher worker count. But Strange, he rotates, denies the third. EMP on the Zealots. Does land the EMP. MilkiCow floating over his main. But alas, that one planetary keeping him in this. Likewise, Strange also getting into more bases. MilkiCow trying to double expand. Does attempt to. Strange, he will come across that main. He will spot it. Does spot the main floating. Drops in and now confirms that the main base is missing. He's heading over to it. He wants it. He wants the main. Likewise takes down this mineral line. Not too many SC. Oh no! Jesus. Almost rallied in. Almost. Meanwhile, he's going for the army. Sorry, going for the base itself. Army's coming in. The boys are being pulled. Strange, he's trapped. No, he has to recall. Yeah, he is trapped. Colossus goes down Archon as well. Ay, ay, ay. Strange, he got baited in. At the same time, he's getting damage done. Stalker's on hold position. Behind the mineral line, 20 SCVs. Is getting economic damage. What about the main army there? What about the main army? Oh no, he rallies in. Miss rally out of Strange. Ay, ay, ay. And again, it's impressive that Strange has made this game what it is. But too many mistakes too quickly. And MilkiCow, he's pushing out. What does he have? He has 7 Vikings, 25 Marines, 18 Marauders. The Colossus, they're falling one after the other. Not enough anti-air. Zealots, they do collapse in. The 2-2 Zealots, they trade well for themselves, but there's not enough. Yeah, there's not enough. MilkiCow, he's finally on a GG gets called, and we are going to the ace match. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. We are going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game 5. Again, MilkiCow, he had a much stronger start. He was able to punish the greedy build of Strange. As a reminder, it was a Robo Opener. Winding it back, remember, it was a Robo Opener into Fast Bay, into Fast Colossus. I say Fast Colossus, it was delayed Colossus production because of the early push. So the build was disrupted for Strange, and because his Colossus was so late, because he was so committed into that, he was vulnerable to that early tank push. And it was a very messy defense early on by Strange. He was bleeding out a lot of units, bleeding out a lot of probes. He was contained as well in 2 bases, so it was a very shaky start for Strange because that he was behind. He fell behind at the start of the game, but he did a great job, maybe not recovering, but just keeping up with MilkiCow at times, and almost recovering as well. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was insane. And GG, well played. With that, we're going to the ace match. Let's go. Oh, let us go. We are going to the ace match here, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss himself tying up the series, and I mean, being forced into the ace match, I should say, as he was ahead, but now being forced in. Can he bring it back? It is Strange. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player representing 3D Clan. Forcing the ace match, bringing it back, it is MilkiCow. We go. He's more of an AoE. I think it's important to bear in mind as well, something that we tried to emphasize is that as Strange was behind, he was behind almost the entire game from the beginning, which is why, one, it was impressive that he survived as long as he did, but he didn't have the luxury of having the economy to be able to afford Storm and to be able to afford Disruptors and like a second Robo for like double Colossus production, or even Blink. He couldn't afford that either. Like it was a very, very shaky, very tense kind of game, and it was insane that Strange lasted as long as he did, considering the game state. It was very impressive. 2-gate opener. Crazy. Speaking of crazy, 2-gate opener here out of Strange, a much more aggressive start out of our Protoss player, as he will delay his Nexus in favor of 2 gates of the Cybercore as well. Does he get a 3rd gateway across the map? I believe he does. Yep, there we go. 3rd gateway. Oh boy. I mean, we're on Tokamak. True. For those who are curious, Tokamak is one of the most macro maps in the map pool. Very large map, long rush distance by ground, very defendable on 4 bases, so why not open up aggressively like this? MilkiCow, he goes for a racked expand economic opener with 1 gas geyser, faster CC, but that won't help against this. That won't help against what comes next, as the Cybercore is now done. And the dips are on the way. 1 base all in, proxy Robo. I thought it was going to be a 3 gates and maybe even a 4 gate, but no, it's going to be proxy Robo. Out of Strange. He is committing into the all-in. Here we go. So we are building up. Likewise, we do we have an SCV Scouts? No, Jesus, no SCV Scout, no Reaper Scout, no nothing. It was CC first into Marine, into Reactor, so limited scouting information here from MilkiCow. He does get a blind bunker, but MilkiCow, he has no idea what's going on. He's getting ready for his own build, going for a 2-1, oh, sorry, I almost said 2-1-1. Going for his 1-1-1, getting into a mine drop. Meanwhile, here comes the Immortals. The Immortals are on the way. Adept safe threat in the shade. Does commit into the mineral line. Gets an SCV. Gets one. Takes down an SCV. This is building up. Likewise, the Immortal has arrived. He breaks through that bunker. Yeah, the bunker does fall. He does threaten the main. He can try to go for the depot. Can he bait him out? Oh no! Oh, he did not bait. Oh my god. Yeah, brutal mine connections. As he did it the wrong way around. With that, the voids are being pulled. Mass repair on the Widow Mine. This needs to get more done. Sentry has arrived for force field. Speaking of, he does force field. He locks down the army, takes down the Cyclone. Nice juggling, nice control. Takes down all the SCVs. Widow Mines are about to reset. Oh no! Ooh, brutal connection. Yeah, he doesn't listen in time. But he barely keeps the army alive. Just barely. His Immortals on the brink. We do have a tank in production. Bunker is up. The Immortal is so low. It was so very low here. He has to be so careful with it. The tank will siege. MilkiCow has supply blocked, but he has a tank, he has Liberator, he's holding. He's holding onto his main. Strange, do we ever opt to expand? Is it too late for that? I mean, there's already a CC. Yeah, there's already a CC. There's already the orbital that was saved. Strange, he needs more damage. Trying to go for the tank. Oh, not bad. Catching up some SCVs. Ooh, the Prism is low. The Prism is low from earlier. Has to get out. Behind this Twilight Council, are we going into Dark Templar? Against 2 orbitals, though. Are we just going to charge, blink, DTs? What's the plan? With a 1 base all in, okay, it's going to be blink. I was going to say DTs would make the most sense, but it's going to be blink. That's the follow-up. Strange, he does poke into the main, but the tank is in position. Viking has arrived. Strange, he has to respect the Viking. Oh! The Viking moves in. Gets off 2 volleys. Strange, he does unload. Does unload in time, and Strange expands. Now, as I mentioned before, the problem with this expansion here for Strange is the fact that we do still have 2 bases for MilkiCow. And we still have mules as well. So he can still make 2 SCVs at a time this entire time here. So MilkiCow is still ahead economically. This was not good enough. Not for Strange. In the end, did kill 16 SCVs. 16 SCVs, a Viking, a bunker. Not much more than that. Meanwhile, Liberator harassed across the map as well. Getting 4 probes, 5 probes. Nice retargeting. 5 workers going down. And you can already see the MilkiCow is already on 2 bases. Already back on 2 bases. He's already secure. Strange, he's still not finishing up his natural. This is just a really rough position for Strange. He's not out of this. Just a rough position. Oh my god, he's crazy. He blinks into 2 tanks. Oh god. He blinks in. He takes so many tank shots to the face. That's not worth it. Not worth it. He gets 1 tank. Oh god. But he bleeds out how many? 9 stalkers. 9 stalkers for a tank and a bunker. Ay, ay, ay. Don't do it again. He's pushing into 3 tanks. 1 tank is on siege. True. He gets 1, he gets 2. Okay. He gets 2 tanks. The other was unsieged. Takes down the bunker. Okay. I should have faith. I I should have faith in the patience blinks. Jesus. He almost resets the tank count. Almost does. And again, that most recent fight was better here for Strange. Wasn't bad. Catching out 2 tanks. Still behind economically though. Still needs more damage. As he's saturating on 2 bases. He's getting there. Going into the main. Scan takes out the Observer. Meanwhile, 4 SCV kills, not bad. Takes on 4 SCVs and does pull away. Behind this Dark Shrine. Dark Shrine here going to DTs. We already have a safety turret at the natural though. Yeah, MilkiCow playing it safe. He already has detection. At least at the natural base. Strange pulls back, getting to charge, throwing down more gateways. And we're warping in 3 Dark Templar. Now, there is no turret in the main, so there is still potential. There's potential for the DTs to get some damage done, as long as he avoids those Vikings. 1 DT on the low ground, 2 in the main. They make their way in. I'm pretty sure MilkiCow he sees. Yeah, he knows. There's a scan. Takes down the Dark Templar. Oh, going for the tank! Oh my god. Almost. There's a second scan. So far, this has... Oh my god, the tank falls! Medevac as well! Okay. Strange. Making moves. He will lose 3 Dark Templar, but he does get the Medevac, does get... I believe that was 2 tanks inside. DT in the main. Going for add-ons. Scan is not yet available. Yeah, 0 tanks remaining. No, we can go for it. We can go for the add-on. You can go for it. Ah, he's on A move. Yeah, he's on A move here. Ah, he gets dragged in. Could have denied combat shields. Still very chaotic. Still very tense. As MilkiCow, he does deal with an Dark Templar. Strange supply blocks. Now looking to expand. And there's a later third. And I do still favor MilkiCow in this position. He has a massive army. And we just pull the boys. Yeah, we just send it 2 base all in here. Strange just doesn't have the numbers to deal with this. Even if he were to pull the boys. Strange just trying to distract, trying to buy time. Stalkers, I guess they can catch some reinforcements, but there's really not much here. There's not much to catch. Gets a Marine. Gets a Marine, going for the CC. Oh, true, that's a win condition. Takes down the CC. Limited scans. Yeah, limited scans here. That means defensive Dark Templar can actually work. There's only one orbital, and only limited scans available here. So that could work. He just abandons his bases. We're going for the base trade. Yeah, we're going for the base trade. Let's go. There's still that 1 tank behind this. Ooh, the Stalkers are being targeted. It's a messy fight. Yeah, messy fight here for Strange. He will lose every single Stalker. And MilkiCow, he's done it. He has done it at this point. There's barely an army left. Gets across the map. Turret has been built. And Strange will lose everything. Strange, he's down to... I mean, I say lose everything. He's down to 1 Archon, 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker, 1 Sentry, 1 of everything. Let's go. He's got that kitchen sink of Protoss. 1 of every unit. DT is helping. And again, we do save a base. We do save some workers. Do we have a scan? Uh oh. No scan. No scan, but there's a turret. Strange, he doesn't chase. But there are no scans. Not yet. The CC is about to land. Can we get under? We can. Just get under the CC. Oh, no. Don't let it land. Strange, he can still win this game. DT's getting free damage, but we have more turrets. More turrets are being built. More turrets on the way. SCVs don't really matter. What matters is the army. Yeah, so getting these SCV kills, that's really just a bait. Just baiting out the army. The turret finishes. Oh, and Strange doesn't notice. Strange, he doesn't notice losing all 3 DTs. There's even any left. He has one DT remaining. That was his win condition. That was his way to get back into this. But the turret is now done. And the CC's floating over. He's floating over here to mine, to have saturation. Strange, likewise, also mining. He also has some production. Okay. Okay, we have 1 base versus 1.5 bases, right? We have a hybrid base here. We have gold minerals. Production is floating. There's a recall. Recall back home. Does leave a couple of depots behind, but not the biggest of deals. You can see here that MilkiCow is searching for the army. DT does scout. Okay. Depending on the positioning here, I mean, bearing in mind that this army is quite exposed. We have 1 tank, we have 2 marauders, and 1 marine. MilkiCow is coming back. He's overstimmed. Strange, he can still pull this off. Catching out a couple of SCVs. He spots the army. I don't see Strange breaking this position though. I can see him taking the, picking the army apart, like 1 portion at a time. But Strange, he's on 3 nexus. Like, he can just chill. It's nice, I'm mining. But Strange, he can just calm down, saturate these bases. He's not supply blocked. He can just keep warping in. Strange, he can do this. Yeah, MilkiCow forced back. The cow is forced back. Strange, he confirms. Liberator has arrived. Oh no! Oh my god, bit of miscontrol. Thankfully, no punish. Limited anti-air. Jesus. Just calm down, MilkiCow. Calm down. But he doesn't know. He doesn't know what's mining. Doesn't know how many bases there are. The economic game state. But again, Strange just has to chill. Just chill out. Just warp in. Just warp in. Take gases, ideally. He has limited gas income. Just warp in. Make probes. Now remember, the Strange, he can abandon this base as well. Like, it's 1 base set up from MilkiCow, even a half base saturation. So if need be, he can just abandon the space and pull the boys away and fall back. What tech do we have? Only Twilight Council, no Robo. No Robo, no Temple Archives. So right now, Strange only has access to a gateway army. He can throw down some tech. He can throw down some tech if need be. And again, Strange doesn't have to push in. We don't have to go in like this. Just contain and max out. That's all you got to do. Just contain, just max out and contain the Terran. He wants to go in. He wants to go. I mean, he might still be able to break this. He goes for the kill. Blinks in. It does blink in. Takes down the tank. Chasing down the army. The bunker getting free damage. It's a bit of a messy fight here. The bunker is going to go down, but the Zealots are falling. Yeah, the Marines are holding their ground. Again, we didn't have to fight like this. We didn't have to go for it. Oh my god. And with that MilkiCow, he will take the fight. No scan. Uh-oh. No scan. The DT, there we go. There's a scan. Oh no, he gets away. The DT gets away. And against Strange, we don't have to fight into this. Stop it. What are you doing? Just calm down. Enjoy the economy. Enjoy the bases. We're good. Just calm down, Strange. Pokes in. Strange is playing with fire right now. Pokes in. Oh my god. Blinks away. Here come extra warpins. Again, it was great kiting from MilkiCow earlier. Amazing kiting. Depots are going down. That will distract MilkiCow. Leads out a window mine. Zealots are cleaned up. Strange, he wants this army. He wants these medevacs. Uh-oh. based on the trajectory. Stalkers, can they intercept? They won't be able to. Yeah, they won't be able to. Medevacs, they make it back home. Ooh. And Strange is committing it again. he's going for it again. Now this time the army is smaller, right? This time there's no tank. There's no tank. The mine shot is on cooldown. Like, you can make a better argument this time that Strange can break through. You can pull this off. Yeah, warping in more zealots. At this point, I have more faith. Yeah, Strange, he has enough. He has enough. Nice mine connection. Blinks on in, takes down the Liberator, and GG gets called. Strange, he does it. He breaks on through, and Strange will qualify for the EWC closed qualifier. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played. Ay, ay, ay. That was crazy. That was crazy. I mean, that was crazy. GG, well played again. That was very, very intense, very close, very clutch. But congratulations, as Strange, he does make it through. Does make it through in the end. Does make it through and does qualify for the closed qualifier. And that was the final match. That was the final match here. All the others did conclude, and let's catch up. Let's catch up on the bracket. Let's figure out what the hell's been going on, what's been happening. And again, congratulations to Strange. Shout out to MilkiCow. MilkiCow, he made a series out of it. I mean, either player could have made it through. They're both deserving to make it through as well, but there was only enough room for one. So my condolences to MilkiCow. Again, he's a very fun player to watch. He's very aggressive, as clearly as you experience yourself. He's a very aggressive player, and always a treat to watch and to tune into. But here we go from the top. We have Mana. Mana does advance on over Shino. 3-0 to qualify for the closed qualifier. We have Young Yakov does qualify over Bly. Does take down Bly 3-0. Again, it was great to see Bly again. Bly, he doesn't really compete anymore. Like, Bly, he's not really active as a player. But Bly, every now and then for these qualifiers, he shows up. Like, even for EPT. Even last year in the EPT qualifiers, he would randomly show up and play. And just to be a part of the scene and be part of StarCraft. He's not an active competitor anymore, but no, he shows up for these qualifiers, so much love to Bly. Much love. Scrolling down, we have Geralt. Geralt does take down Nicorect. For those who are curious, this is Nicorect. This ID here is Nicorect. So Geralt does bring him down 3-0. Geralt does qualify for the closed qualifier. Wayne takes down Fiant. We had an intense ZBZ here, but Wayne does take down Fiant 3-1. Wayne also qualifying for the closed qualifier. A laser over Eba. We did cover this series. We did cast this on our channel. A laser did take down Eba 3-1. And we had Goblin over Power. Again, I would say the Power caused an upset. I'm sure Goblin was happy about that, but Goblin does take down Power 3-1, advancing on to the closed qualifier. Then we had our current series, Strange. Strange barely takes down MilkiCow 3-2. Is this the only ace match? That was the there's so many 3-0s here, but we knew what we wanted, right? We had the 3-1 earlier with Laser and Eba, and we had the only 3-2 between Strange and MilkiCow. Scrolling down, we then had Arcfire 3-0 over Jumi. A little bit surprised there. I was not gonna lie, like, Jumi's a very strong competitor. I was expecting a back and forth between the two players, but it's a really strong showing. I mean, Arcfire, his best matchup is PvP. If you recall, we casted Arcfire a couple of weeks ago in the Tuna Cup, in Sparkling Tuna Cup, where Arcfire, he made it all the way to the finals purely off of PvP, taking down players like Skillus, taking down players like Geralt as well. These big Protoss European names did fall at the hands of Arcfire. That is where he thrives in the most, and he makes it through. Congratulations here. With that, we now have our qualified players. And let's have a look at the entire lineup here. Unfortunately, again, you know, the lineup is limited, and again, there are definitely many players here that could have been a part of this as well. You know, Eva had a clutch series earlier. But we do have our participants for the closed qualifier. Bam. There we go. Exclamation mark B if you guys want to link to the Wikipedia page, but here it is. We have our full lineup of players. We have 8 Protoss. I mean, again, European region makes sense. 8 Protoss players here, with Arcfire, Geralt, Goblin, Christiana, Mana, Showtime, Skillus, and Strange. We have 2 Terrans in Big Gabe and Spirit. Looking at the lineups here, we were featuring Baby Marine earlier. I could be mistaken, but did BattleBee play? Like, a lot of Terran players have fallen by the wayside here. Did BattleBee play in the qualifiers? Not today, I know. I know Moja, of course, was playing Qualifier 1. Yeah, no BattleBee. That is concerning. Typically, if a player's not playing in these qualifiers, they might have stepped away. There are some players that like silently retire, but it might be too early to call here. But yeah, no, BattleB, I rate BattleB quite highly amongst the European Terran players. So yeah, unfortunate not to see him here. He's the one that he's the one Terran player that I noticed. Of course, Akedon retired, right? Akedon retired. Nick Rat was competing, barely didn't make it. MilkiCow was competing, barely didn't make it. But BattleB was the other player that comes to mind here. That is usually here, I should say. Scrolling on over here, we have our 6 Zerg players. We have a Laser, Lambo, Rainer, Cyril, Wayne, and Young Jakob. Here we go. We have our full set of players for the closed qualifier, and this will be taking place in 2 days. Not tomorrow, 2 days. 2 days time is going to be the closed qualifier. You can see here the closed qualifier is massive, by the way. Massive closed qualifier for 2 players. Out of these players here that have made, out of these 16 players, this 16-player double elimination bracket, only 2. 1 from the upper bracket, 1 from the lower bracket. Of course, we have some big heavy hitters like Cyril and Rainer. Cyril and Rainer, they're the biggest names here, alongside Showtime, Skillus, Gabe, Spirits, Lambo as well. True, don't want to gloss over. And of course, we have all these other players that are all snipers. Like, bear that in mind. Like, we can definitely see some of these other players like Christiana and Geralt, players like Strange, Mana as well, players like Wayne, Young Jakob. We can see them snipe some of these other higher tier players as well. They can win series, they can take games, they can take series. So it's not clear cut. So best of luck to all these players. Of course, we are going to be casting the closed qualifier in 2 days time as well on this channel. Going to be casting on this channel as always here. Meanwhile, we're not done for the day because we're going to be live in 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours time, we're going to be live with what? With the NA qualifier. Bam, here we go. You can see the schedule before you. There it is. You can see the schedule. It's been a very intense period in StarCraft, very intense week with the non-stop EWC qualifiers. Again, we cast every single qualifier out there. We cast more than any other channel. We're the only people that have casted every single qualifier so far. That's what we do here on the CranKy Ducklings. We were live earlier today with the Asia qualifier. We just wrapped up with the European qualifier, and up next we have the NA qualifier. Again, that is in 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours time. That's enough time for me to make some noodles. Gonna make some noodles. I'm gonna make some ramen. I'm gonna crack an egg. Pappy, crack an egg. And it's gonna be beautiful. I'm also really cold. For those that are curious, it's like coming up on like winter here in Australia. And it's actually been very, very cold. So I'm gonna get some food and I'm gonna rest my voice at least a little bit and get ready for the final qualifier of the day. Of course, later on tonight is going to be the first Korean qualifier. The first Korean qualifier is going to be later on tonight. We have the Asia closed qualifier as well. Tomorrow is going to be the rest. The Americas qualifier, Korea, Europa as well. Plenty of StarCraft ahead of us. We have the May Mayhem over the weekend, and of course the final Korean qualifier on Sunday as well. So a lot of content, a lot of StarCraft. If you enjoyed the casting, if you enjoyed the content, if you enjoyed the StarCraft, then consider following us wherever you can, wherever you prefer, I should say. Exclamation mark socials in the chat, and you will get a link to our social medias. We have a Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have YouTube. We do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. As you can see here, we're live all the time. We're live all the time, and I cannot ask you to watch everything. It's we cast everything, but we're animals. I'm an animal, papi. So I can cast everything, but I cannot ask many people to watch all things StarCraft because there's just so much going on, and we cast so often. So because of that, check out the VODs. Check out the VODs over on YouTube. So YouTube is the place to be for all the VOD content. It's all there, again, uploaded on a daily basis, and we do actually live stream on YouTube as well. So it's all live streamed on YouTube under the live tab. Otherwise, the VODs are uploaded a little bit later as they're cut up via series. So you can check us out there. Otherwise, if you want to support us monetarily, you can do so via Patreon, exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. We do run events on a regular basis. Not this week. We had to reschedule everything. We had to reschedule our StarCraft 2 talk show. We do have a podcast, SC2 podcast every single week. We had to reschedule it. We had to reschedule our regular tournaments as well because of the non-stop EWC qualifiers. But usually we do have our regular tournaments like this. Bam! You can see them right here. We have Duckling Open, which is a monthly amateur tournament. We have Sparkling Tuna Cup, which is a weekly open tournament, which we feature players like Bjorn and Solar and Zaun and Skillus and Showtime. All the big names, all the big dogs play in Sparkling Tuna Cup. That's our weekly tournament. And we have MSO, Master Swan Open as well. As that is our monthly tournament for Masters players. So yeah, we do run 3 events on a regular basis here, alongside all the regular casting that we do. Again, we did have to reschedule and shift our stuff around just because of EWC, but we should be back to our regular programming soon, TM. We'll get back to it. We'll get back to it. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Again, I'm going to go get some food. I'm going to go rest up a little bit and get ready for the final cast of the day for the Americas qualifier number 2. Who's going to be there? Yo, Bappy, Dolan's going to be there. Potentially some others like Eric as well. Like I'm definitely near. There's definitely a lot of players that are near and dear to my heart, especially from Latino America. Players like Davito, that was most likely going to be there as well. He better be there, and some of the other Latin American players should be there as well. Looking at Sagan, looking at Ryojin, looking at Eon as well, and many others. So there's one player that I'm really looking forward to seeing though, and I hope he's there. For those that were here yesterday, there's a player that was missing from the qualifier. Who was there? Scarlet was there, Trigger was there, Juanito Special was there, Chem was there, and Chamaco. Who wasn't there? Estrella. Estrella was not there for the first Open Qualifier, and that's concerning. Estrella, he was competing at Dallas. I know that he's been practicing again. I hope that he's available, because Estrella, he is arguably the best Protoss player in. I mean, he was the best Protoss player. Sorry, the best player in the Americas last year. 100%. He was. I mean, he was ranked the highest. I mean, there's a reason why Estrella, he went to EWC last year. Currently, because Estrella did take some time off, I would argue that Trigger is. the best player in the Americas currently. But despite that, like, I know that Estrella, he's back. He's been playing. He's been practicing. He went to Dallas, and I would want to see him at the qualifier. We'll see there. We'll see. We're 2 hours away. I didn't see the sign up, so I don't know if he did already sign up, but I hope that he's a part of that, because it would be a shame if he were to be absent from EWC, from at least the qualifiers to attempt to make it through. Again, he was the NA representative last year. Like, Australia, he was straight up the representative of the Americas in 2024. So we'll see if we'll be there for 2025. We shall see. Oh, hi. Just catching up. But with that GG, well played. With that, we're going to be wrapping up here for the time being, and I'm going to head off and I'm going to get ready here for our next cast. Again, I'm a little bit fatigued, but we'll be good. We'll be good to go. We'll be able to keep things going. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you so much for all the support. Also, you can follow myself, I guess, !light in the chat. I try to stream whenever I can. I stream like maybe once a week, maybe 2 times a week, whenever I have some free time. As you can see, all my time is spent casting, but if I'm ever not casting, I try to stream on my channel. Emphasis on try, because I rarely have any free time to ladder and to play and to stream on my personal channel. But you can follow me there if you're interested. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in 2.5 hours for some more StarCraft. See you in 2 hours for some more EWC. See you then.